Okay, so let's try our hands-on. We'll take a few minutes, get all our materials together, and we're going to do a hands-on demonstration of the Hahn implant. What we're going to do is we're going to allow you to place a couple implants in our model. So why don't we get started first by, let me describe the Hahn surgical kit first. So the Hahn surgical kit is really an exceptional kit. It's very, very self-explanatory. But let me just take a few minutes and explain each of the components to you. We start off by looking at our 1.5 start burr. And this 1.5 start burr is a very, very, very thin, skinny burr with a sharp point on it, so be careful. It's intended not to make an osteotomy, rather to make our initial penetration through the soft tissue into bone, to kind of establish our direction, mesial, distal, and buccolingual. Now, what's very unique about the Hahn implant system is we go from the 1.5 diameter burr to the 2.4 diameter, and you can see it's clearly marked. It's a little bit thicker, and it has markings on it: 8, 10, 11 and a half, 13. And this will also be used to help us in the angulation of our dental implants, mesial, distal, and buccolingual. And I think we've demonstrated that in some of the clinical slides on how I establish correct positioning. As general dentists, it's imperative that we ideally place our dental implants in bone. But what's very unique about the Hahn system, and I'm very, very proud to be associated with it, is the 3.0 diameter burr, and it's the light blue section here. Why is this important? Well, it's important for a number of reasons. It's used for the 3.0 diameter Hahn implant, which is a very narrow-bodied implant, ideal for mandibular incisor areas, and sometimes even lateral incisor areas in the maxilla. But you can see that we have pre-measured burrs of 8, 10, 11 and a half, 13, 16. One of the biggest problems we've had in teaching implant surgical techniques with any system is that the 2.0 or 2.2 or 2.4 pilot drill has markings on it, but they're very difficult to see. The markings, that's the biggest challenge, and I always say, and you've probably heard me say it in the lecture, I can teach you where the lines are, but I can't teach you to see the lines. So this 3.0 system is just ideal to help us in determining proper length. Once we establish mesial, distal, buccolingual dimensions and go to proper depth into bone, pre-selected proper depth into bone, we will then use our widening osteotomy burrs, the 3.5 or the burgundy, the 4.3, the 5.0, and even a 7.0. On our models today, we're going to place a 4.3 by 11.5 millimeter dental implant and then a 3.5 by 11.5 dental implant. As we go down each line, which are clearly marked 3.0, 3.5, 4.3, 5.0, 7.0, we also have lengths, 10, 11.5, 13, and 16 length. In dense bone, we also have a tap, and a tap is used to create the initial threads in the osteotomy site. I will use it where I have dense mandibular bone to establish the threads so that you don't over-torque the implant. Following down, you have the seating instruments, or implant drivers are they're referred to, and we have a short and long in each of those. In the 3.0 diameter implant, we have just a long one because it's usually used in situations or in areas that that you would need a longer driver. The side of the osteotomy burrs, we have this remarkable torque wrench, and if you look closely at it, you will see that we have it says Newton centimeters, and it has like a little arrow there, and all you have to do when we're torquing, we can pre-measure it to 15 or 20 or 25 or 30 or 35 or 40 or 45 or 50 or 60. We don't really want to torque our implants past 60, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes when we're doing our demonstration. So with our implants, we're going to torque it. We're going to document the torque amount that we place the implant. And remember in the lecture we said if we can torque to 25 Newton centimeters or more, then we could theoretically immediately load the implant, or we could at least put a healing abutment which eliminates a second stage surgery. If we get to 35 Newton centimeters, theoretically the literature will tell you you can presumably load the implant with an abutment. And you know that I'm not a big believer in immediately loading, but depending on your philosophy you can determine what's best for your patients. If you get less than 25 Newton centimeters, we'll put a cover screw and we will bury the implant and let it heal, and we can talk about that during the lecture. When we're putting our healing abutments in place, we want to torque them to 30 or 35 Newton centimeters. I think the Hahn implant says 35, but normally I will torque my implants at about 30 Newton centimeters, and that abutment will not come loose at all. I have in my kit a surgical punch, and it's simply a round circular blade that allows me to punch the tissue and eliminate the tissue during the placement of my implant. We have implant drivers, as we talked about, and then we have on this side we have paralleling pins of the different size implants, and which allows us to parallel the implants into proper position. A great tool. Going up on this side, we have several tools. We have the drill extension, which allows us to elongate any of the burrs. We have a drill extension, which allows us to use the implant drivers, place the implant driver in there, and place the implants either using the handpiece or manually. The handle, which will go into the drill extension like that, and then you can take your implant driver and place it into the drill extension and then place the implant, and we'll demonstrate that in a few moments on the model. We also have a long and short driver which will engage the abutments and all the screws that will be used in the Hahn implant system. So you can see it's a very effective, very concise system. You just follow step by step and you'll have tremendous successes.